how to grade with Turnitin. You may know that Turnitin has text matching aspect to it, but you also can grade with it with a rubric. And the rubrics cannot be interchangeable with a D2L rubric. And it's either or. And even if you've made your D2L rubric, you cannot import that into Turnitin. But I'll show you, I have a term paper here. And if I go in to edit this term paper, it's already set up with my Blackboard rubric. And although you can't really see it very well here, I'm just going to show you the equivalent where you can see it, which is Course Tools, Course Admin, and then Rubrics. And if I edit this rubric, you can see how I've set it up. I have A, B, C, D, E, F. In this case, it's weighted by having different number of points. My criteria two is worth 50%. It adds up to 100 points, 30 and 20. And then this is the breakdown. And how I'd calculated these breakdowns, and I wish I could show them to you without the dots, but that's just how it works. You have to click in there to actually see the number. Is for all the letters except for A, I take the midpoint. So for instance, the B, the lowest B minus, the low end of the B minus is 70%, and the high end of the B plus is 80%. And so the midpoint is 75, and 75 times 30% is 22.5. And that's true for all the other letters. F is just 0. That's why I have the F. A though, if I took the midpoint of this, which would be 90, between the 90 is the midpoint between the low end of A minus and the upper end of A plus. But if I did that, then this becomes the de facto 100% or max. And I want my de facto max to be 100. So this one is not the midpoint. I'm sorry. It's 100 times 30%, or 100 times 50%, or 20. Now in D2L, when I choose one, when I'm grading this using D2L, when I pick, let's say B, then it will automatically put the 22.5 over here, and then I could change it. So if I say, well, this should be kind of a lower B, so I'm going to change it manually from 22.5 that it made to 20, or I'm going to give it a little bit more. I'm going to put it up to 25. So that's how you can get a range if you wish. And you could do that also with the A. But with Turnitin, you don't have the ability to override individual criteria. You only have the ability to override the entire score. So that's a limitation there. Anyways, so with this same rubric that I'm using for D2L, if I go back to Assessments Assignments, and I click the down arrow and edit this term paper, and I expand evaluation and feedback, down at the bottom is where I have managed Turnitin. And I've already checked it to say I want to check the similarity report. But now I'm also going to check online grading. And I have a choice. If I have some students who have elected to not allow Turnitin to be used in their papers, then I have to choose them manually. But I'm going to do automatically. I don't have any of those students in my class. And then I'm going to go more options. And I'm going to say I'm going to store it in the repository. And I'm just going to use all the other tools, to grammar tools and stuff like that. You can turn those off if you want. But down about halfway is the add a rubric. And there's this kind of bug that because I did this before, I'm just going to delete these just so that it's the same as yours. This is what yours would look like if you did attach a rubric. And there's a bunch of built-in rubrics. I want to build my own one. And so I'm going to launch the rubric manager. And then in the upper right, if I click this, I have the opportunity to import. And go to import, even though you don't have anything to import yet, because in there, there's the ability to download an example template in Excel. So I can click on that and then launch this example template in Excel. And then enable the editing. And so I'm going to basically do the same thing here. It has 5 criteria. I only need 3. And I could fill in all this stuff, but I'm just going to leave the text. And then I am going to set up this the same way that I set up my D2L rubric. But I can't put the numbers in yet. I can just add this. And I'm going to save this, save as. I'm going to call it turn it in rubric 2. Because I already, oops, got to take out. I already made rubric 1. I don't want to confuse it. So I'm going to save that and just going to minimize it. And I'm going to select the files here and upload it. So here it is, turn it in rubric 2. And now I can choose what type of form that I want. The same one that I have where each row has their own numbers. That's the middle one, which they call custom rubric entry. By the way, you can also do percentage, where I can just put the percentages up here like 100, 75, 65, and then put the weighting here 30, 50, 20. That might be even easier, but I'm just going to be able to do a fair comparison with with D2L, I'm going to use the custom one. And I'm going to use these same numbers, which were 30 and then 22.5, 19.5. And the way I got these, I put the midpoint multiplied by the 30%. Now I'm just going to pause the video while I put the rest of these in. Okay, I'm done putting all the percentages in, and now I'm going to save it. It's in the bottom right hand. And, oh, incomplete. There. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but I've put them in again, and it's saved properly this time. And then now I can exit it, and it will be on this list. Now, if I don't see it yet, there it is. If you don't see it, then refresh this page, and you might not say, well, where's the refresh button? F5 on a PC is the same as refresh. But then I'm going to attach the rubric again, and just click the down arrow, and there it is. Turn it in rubric 2. And then hit submit. And make sure that this is, oh yeah, standard paper. I have to redo that one. And any other settings that you did. And then submit. And then save this. And then save and close. Now I'm just going to pause the video while a couple of students submit to this paper. Okay, a couple of students have submitted. Now I'm not just going to click here, because if I click here, this is how to grade them in D2L. But I don't want to grade in D2L, I'm going to grade in Turnitin. So to do that, click the down arrow beside the term paper and view the submissions. And I can see already that this one is 100% plagiarized. And so I'm going to click on the pencil to click that, and not plagiarized, text matched. And to see those, I can expand the menu on the side by clicking this black box up at the top and then hit the 100. This was from another student's paper. Somebody had copied it from Francis Bacon here. But let's just pretend it wasn't text matched so much. And then here's the rubric. It's this this grid here. And so the dots start on off the rubric onto the left, but when I drag it, I can choose what letter grade they should get. And then here is the score that adds all these up. I'm going to apply that grade. Now you think that this one would bring me to the next one? Oh yeah, it did. Good. Brought me to the next student's one. And this one is also text matched, similar, but so I could go look at that report and then go back to the rubric, and then I can apply my rubric grades to this, and then apply the grade. And then when I'm all done, notice that I cannot override the numbers here. I can only override this number up here if I wanted to. And now I'm just going to exit. And then now I'm going, after I'm done it all, I'm going to publish the results. I'm going to hit this refresh Turnitin grading, and for all of these, and I could see that, but I could click on here to publish all the results. And it's complaining that that the rubric, I did not use the D2L rubric, which I know I didn't. I used the Turnitin rubric. So I'm going to publish this anyways. And are you sure? Yes, I am. And then if I go into grades, I can see that the grades are now submitted for these students.